you mentioned this before, JP. Before you start the day, is just ask God for opportunities, and then pray, Lord, give me opportunities today. Help me find somebody. When you ask God and you're in that mindset, it makes things fall into place a lot more than if you don't.
So I don't know if I mentioned this before, but like church services, and one of them was my neighbor, and she was just like, she's an older woman, and she just wanted to make friends. So like, she talked to me a couple times, and then I think we'd gone for a walk together. But then at one point she mentioned that she didn't really have friends, and I was like, well, I make friends at church, and so she was like, yeah, stick around. Kind of book section, and she asked me for a book recommendation. So I recommended a book to her, and then we got to talking, and I found out that she was like looking for a church, like visiting different churches. So I invited her to come with me, and she did. And I was like, wow, that was like surprisingly easy.
Yeah. We should go hang out the religious section of ours.
And then she started coming to like home Bible studies that the preacher was having.
We could put you in the religious section and put Kim in the grieving section, and then we get both people.
Chelsea, do you have with this work that he does? How do you support what he's doing? Like what with getting invites for Bible studies and interact with people?
I mean, just try to be flexible. He will often text me and say, "Hey, I need you at this time, this place, or we're coming over." So, just trying to be ready and available.
I know you guys are on fire. You're always inviting people to study the Word of God. I know it's a process to get more in sync and comfortable with doing this. Do you have any ideas or thoughts that could help acclimate the folks here to be more in sync with doing this in their lives?
I honestly just think it is practice. Just like anything in life, I think we want this to come really fast, and a lot of times it just takes a lot of trial and seemingly error. I think any efforts that you do are a success, and you should realize that you tried and you did something today, and take that as a win, and then you will have more confidence and feel just a little bit more comfortable the next time. And I think we've noticed that, and even like in the ebbs and flows of like trying to evangelize, like sometimes we're just super comfortable with it, and it's like, oh yeah, like you're just asking everybody at the restaurant, or so many, you see so many opportunities, and then we'll fall off the wagon and forget about it, and not pray before we go in someplace or something like that, and it's so much less comfortable to do it, and you just gotta like, oh yep, we gotta get back on this, and then you start doing it again, and just comes more naturally. So that's truthfully what I would say. You just have to, if you really want to do this, then you just have to push yourself to do it.
Are there any things that do you guys listen to or hear or study booklets that help that helped you get into this process? I know I'm throwing a lot at y'all.
No,
So,
yeah, I can't say I read this and it was helpful. I was blessed to be around a lot of men and women, especially. I got something. 2 Timothy chapter 1. Um, um, Oh no, it's 2 Timothy chapter 2. 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 2. The things which you have heard from me in the presence of many witnesses, entrust these to faithful men who will be able to teach others also. So that word men in 2 Timothy 2 is not the word for male. It is the word anthropos, for humanity. So Paul says to Timothy, the things that you've learned, entrust those to other humans. I have been around men and women who understood that they've been given and have been entrusted with their faith. And these men and women have realized that, okay, I'm never going to be behind a lectern, I'm never going to be on top of a pulpit preaching a lesson for whatever reason, but I can be evangelistic, and that's what they've done. They've evangelized over and over again, which is why I think I've learned so many different methods. And I think that's why I'm so comfortable with evangelism, door knocking, personal, small group, like any way that people evangelize. Like I've done it because I've just been around people that are focused on seeking and saving the lost, and so be around those people. And if there's no one like that where you worship, like you be the person. And I guarantee you, someone will be like, "What are you doing? Like, I've been wanting to do this forever." There's this couple at university. They set up a neighborhood Bible study and a community study, and they're like, "It is going to be the first 4 weeks in January, and JP, we need you to teach it." And I was like, "Perfect." And that's all I did. All I did was show up and teach these studies. Hey, you don't have to be the one teaching to be evangelistic. And I think sometimes that's where we get intimidated, because you're like, well, maybe I know all the one-liners, but what am I actually supposed to teach them? Like, you don't have to be the one to teach them. Set up an opportunity, and, like, I'll teach. Just be that evangelistic person that you desire to see. Be the evangelist. The best evangelist we have at university is this older black woman. Like, she is on it nonstop, and I'm like, wow, like goals. And that's what we need to be like. If we can just be evangelists, then yeah, you'll find a method that works, and yeah, you run with it.
Excellent.
Do you have any like group studies now that you're doing?
Not over the next 2 weeks because I'm swamped. But I will when I get back in 2 weeks. So I'm going out of town for these next 2 weeks. When I come back, I'll do a small group study. There is a Spanish one happening right now. That again, I was the person this time that I was like, my home is going to be open. It's going to be at this time. I need you to teach it. And I asked another guy that worships with us to teach it. And I was like, you need to lead this study in Spanish for the next 4 weeks. And I was like, oh, by the way, the last 2 weeks of the study, which is going to be this Friday and next Friday, I was like, I'm not even going to be here. So my house is going to be open. Like, come in, like, lock up. Like, because it doesn't matter. Like, the teacher doesn't matter. You just got to create those opportunities. And I happen to, like, have a close enough house that the Spanish speakers could come to. Like, they all live down the street, and so, like, I'm like, I'll have the house. Like, you do the study. But when I get back, I'm gonna do that in English. So there'll be an English small group study that I'll do here at the house.
Is it a certain book or subject?
We're gonna go through the Bible. I always try to just pick stuff in the Bible that I think is helpful to kind of inspire people with, and my goal is to make the Bible less intimidating. So I always study from the Bible because I want the person to be like, oh, I can understand that. No, I haven't chosen yet. What do you want to study?
No, I just have a friend that she's very religious, but she doesn't go to Church of Christ. But
Okay.
I tried to talk to her
Perfect.
different times, but
I will do a study on grace. It'll be based out of 1 Peter. And you can bring her to that study. That is the best book for religious people. that understand some things about God and they understand some things about grace, but it is a false view of grace. And First Peter will tackle that. So it'll be
Yeah, I'm trying to get her.
we'll do that.
There's a certain day of the week.
What it, you talk to her, ask her what day she's available, and that's the day we'll do it.
Well, I think
Usually it's
she'd
in the
be-
evenings.
I don't know. I think she'd be more comfortable, like, if it was more than, you know, that it wasn't just
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
us. If you
Yeah,
have other people
yeah.
coming.
I'll do a small group study. I have
You
people that
other
will
people?
come up.
Oh, okay.
But you just tell me, I need it Tuesday 8 o'clock, and that's what the day we'll do the study. I need it Friday at 7. That's the day we'll do the study, and it'll be a small group study where we'll have like 20 people here. So, I got the men. I got the manpower. Like, you know.
Alright.
So if you just give me the opportunity, like that's all I'm looking for. Is
And she
opportunity.
came she texted, well, several of her friends recently, that if anybody was having a Super Bowl party and you know, somebody lived in Sim. So I made sure that the person didn't mind me asking her, and that she came, and, you know, she's mentioned, you know, and she's been to other, like, ladies' Bible classes with me at, you know, different homes, even a whole day. I mean, she's been with me when, like, Wesley Chapel just had a ladies' day, and she'll go with me the whole day, but, anyway, it's just trying to, I tried talking to her about baptism one time, and it was, you know, so I've been baptized, but I don't, you know, I'm not sure
Yeah.
if it's, you know, if you realize, you know, if it was for salvation or if it was just been baptized, you
Yeah.
know. But anyway,
Well, tell me the time and day that works well, and I'll set up the small group study. So
okay.
that's what I'm here for, is to study with people. So, and yeah, it wouldn't be one-on-one. So,
Huh?
it wouldn't be one-on-one. I could have up to 60 people here. That would make
It
her
doesn't
feel
matter
more
what day of
comfortable.
the week, even if it was a Saturday or Sunday. She works really early in the morning. She drives a truck and she works, she's off Sundays and Mondays. That's why I was saying Saturday or
Okay.
Sunday, she might be more likely to.
Okay. A soul's worth
We'll
it. So.
see.
I have a friend who's in a similar situation. He's Pentecostal and he was baptized, but I don't think it was for salvation either. And he actually talked with someone at Seminole, like in depth about it, and it seemed like he was actually like questioning whether he'd been baptized the right way or for the right reason. Then he ended up moving away to Colorado for 3 months, and he just came back.
Cool.
And I invited him to lectures because he really loves like instrumental music and worship. And I think one time he asked me, or he was like, "You don't have music at your church, do you?" Or something like that. And so I was like, I didn't really want him to come to lectures and just like hear the singing at lectures. So I invited him to come, and he did. And he seemed to like it. And then like afterwards, he was asking me questions about what I believed about baptism. And I thought that everyone had to be baptized to be saved or something like that. So, I talked with him, answered his questions, and it seemed like he wanted to think about it, or like it was making him think. And then he came to visit Seminole on Sunday, partly because he didn't have a ride and someone had offered him a ride because his car isn't working right now. He goes, because normally he goes to like a Pentecostal church on Sundays. But anyway, some encouraging stuff.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. It's you guys are doing what JP is mentioning, which is going out there and looking for opportunities. I know this guy, Jack Adams. He every morning he prays for opportunity, gets up, and he looks for somebody to invite. And one year he through the Father he had 100 people baptized. It wasn't just him; he was working with folks. He got a lot of people on board,
Wow.
and the elders were saying, "Quit converting, God. There's too many people." It was just so it's yeah, I'm not saying that's going to be the case, but if you're always looking for opportunities like what JP is mentioning, um, they come. If you pray for them, you look for them, you seek them, you desire them, it will happen. The first time might be it's like asking a girl out for the first time in elementary school or whatever. It's a little bit uncomfortable, but if you do it a second time or third time, it gets more easier. Like anything, job interview, going to college, riding your bike for the first time, it's a little awkward, but the third time, fourth time, it gets easier, and you get more adaptive. And even if it feels uncomfortable, you know the process, like what JP mentions, you know what to do and how to do it, and you know that if you keep doing it, the Father will, sow the seeds, you plant, somebody else waters, God will give the increase over time. And they're good examples of this. I've never met a more evangelistic couple than these two.
I can introduce you to some.
They're amazing. Um, this is solid gold. What he's doing at university it has an evangelistic culture. They've had a lot of conversions, 60 in 8 months, because of the invite culture that he just mentioned in the Bible class. So, and he has a wife, he has kids, yet she's doing it with him, and I mean it's if they can do it with three sweet kids, I think they have three kids, four kids.
I have three sweet ones. You're right.
If they can do it, then it can be done. It can be done. Absolutely. Gustav just mentioned that his mother had a conversion with studying with somebody, so
That's right.
invited that this lady to study with, and now they're going to in Germany. His mom and his family meets in a home because there's no churches, so there's a new member going to that home. So that's wonderful. Um, this guy is solid gold when it comes to invite evangelism and hearing the good news from what you did and Kim has done and what Gustav has done and all the good things I've seen JP and his wife do. It's just really encouraging. And he's training their children. You all are training them very young, which is incredible.
Did you say your mom had someone back? Help
Who's guys?
with- oh, good
Yeah,
stuff.
my mom in
Your
Germany.
mom.
Yeah.
I was thinking she said his mom,
Yeah,
but she's always brought people, Lord.
she's mom's brought folks doing what JP's mentioned. Sarah DeGata, who's in a group, she came because of what JP has mentioned. Um, just getting out of your comfort zone and just inviting somebody. Mom invited Sarah over to a home cooked meal and a Bible study, and she said yes. And that was 7 years ago. And she's uh, she's faithful, and she is helping with evangelism. So it's incredible. And this we've gone over event evangelism, and we'll do other events. It's a lot of fun, but this is the most flexible format. You can do it anywhere, anytime. You can ask as many or as few people as you want, and the results come because it's a personal, interactive relationship, and you're giving with people. You're having a discussion. You're talking to folks. You're inviting them over to your home or to coffee to communicate, to share, to exchange, to connect on a spiritual level and social level, and it makes people feel valued, but in a heavenly context. So I look forward to going over this more as we focus on event evangelism to also focus on lifestyle evangelism, because this is the closest to the New Testament pattern. Jesus always did evangelism. It wasn't a once a year thing or an event done every blue moon. Nothing wrong with that, But what the apostles did, what the disciples did, what Jesus did was actively making a lifestyle process, which is what JP has outlined and what he and Chelsea are doing. Do you have any stories to share of what you've been doing? Some positive, cool.
Well, I always go back to encouraging y'all to make sure you take stock of your visitors. Two of our, actually no, all, okay, let's see. Who was, I had Sebastian, Leilani, Ivan, there's one more. Who else got baptized at the beginning of the year? Well, at least.
Lily.
Oh, Lily, that's right. Yeah, but she was already worshiping. So 3 out of the 4 baptisms we've had this year already were all visitors. People that just came in, and I just asked, like, do you want to study the Bible? Do you want to read the Bible? And yeah, like, what'd you say last time, Joseph? You don't throw back the fish that jump in the boat, or something.
Yeah,
like
yes,
that?
good memory, good memory.
Yeah. Like, yeah, if they're jumping in the boat, like, man, that should be
Don't
the
wait for the
easiest.
third time they
Yeah.
come.
Easiest evangelism you do is with your visitors. So make sure you're talking to the visitors, and yeah, I think it's awesome that has been such a good avenue for us to have these conversions already this year. Just people that walked in the door, and we asked if they wanted to study, and they're still studying and still active for the most part.
What do you tell people to do at church when when visitors come through the door?
So first of all, if a visitor comes through, we want to get their name and then put them in our visitors locator text to say, Kim came in with Eric, and they're sitting on the left-hand side next to the Floreses. So we know where you're at, and then we're trying to get someone to get your information so that we can have a follow-up immediately that afternoon. So if y'all came to visit and filled out the QR code that we have on the pews or on the visitor's card, you would get a text from me by 2:00 that Sunday. Just have that immediate follow-up, and I think that's helpful. And it's inconvenient, but as Chelsea said, you got to be inconvenienced at times, because that's what a soul's worth, being inconvenienced and being disciplined.
So you text certain people?
So yeah, if you came in as a visitor, we have like, I think 30 or however, whatever the max is that you can have on our group text through iPhone. So we capped out. Yeah, we capped out.
Me, you mean?
I don't know where my phone went on.
That group me, remember that before?
Yeah, so GroupMe is another thing, and we use that for different things, but now it's just called the visitors locator text. So like, for instance, this Sunday, Jackson Jarvis moved here from Texas, sitting behind the Matthews. Tara, Justin Schwartz's girlfriend, is here. Michaela Lee, Noe's sister, is here. Marcus is visiting from Temple Terrace. He's in the back by the AV room. James and Faye Adams are back today with son and niece and nephew, back left side by the Chavez. Mark's sister is here. Alicia. Christian Zax is here. Haven't seen him for a while. Debbie and her son Nathan are here. She's an older lady with an adult son. They're on the front side by the Brooks. Nate Reagan is here, visited a few times, sitting behind Taylor and I on the left side towards the back. So that's what our visitors locator sec looks like. We try to figure out, and then that way we know where you're at.
It's called what? Is it an app?
No, it's just a group text.
Oh, group text.
We
Okay.
just called it the visitors locator text.
Okay. Cool.
So yeah, iPhone limits it to 30 people. So that's what we got. That's how it works well. So that is so effective. And then like I said, you fill out the QR code that we have. It comes to my lead generator app, and then that's how I immediately text people and start conversations. get their information and then share that with our elders so they can also be involved. And then every Monday, 7:30, we pray for our visitors by name. Best thing you can do. Right.
Well, thank you, JP. And your wife too. You guys for taking time and having us over, and for your
I'm glad you came
example
over.
and your light, because I'm almost 50 years old, and I've never seen what I've seen with JP when it comes to this, and it's highly encouraging. So you guys might want to pick their brains at other occasions too, just about.
Kim and I are about to start a study together. So.
Oh yeah, so that's perfect.
'Cause she's at like a 4.3 now on her comfort scale, right?
Yes. But and just the role play is we might do that down the road, just like coming up, JP, what he did with Kim, just and so think of answers and questions, and we can practice on each other, and if we get comfortable with each other, make it a little bit more easier to do this process. And something I learned with doing event evangelism is it makes it more easier to do invite evangelism, because
Yeah.
basically what you're doing when people are walking by is, hey, would you like to sign up for a Bible study? So if you do that enough times, you start getting comfortable just doing it, period. So it's a good gateway or transitionary thing for other formats.
Yeah.
And it's an hour, and we can go as long as you want, but
Good. Yeah.
okay.
Solid for sure.
So you or the church has baptized 60 people and
It's a little under, but yeah, that's yeah.
60 people in like 8 months.
No, it's been a little bit more than that. Yeah, a little over a year.
Still, that's a lot.
Did most of them attend pretty regularly?
Yeah, we've had. And the cool thing is, I think this is cool. The couple of people that have moved away out of the state are still worshiping with other Christians. So one guy, he moved to Memphis. He's worshiping with the East Shelby group. And another lady, she moved to California. She's worshiping with where we used to worship out there in California. And so our retention rate has been really good, which I think is important, because
Yes.
I feel very guilty when people are baptized and they don't stay faithful.
Yeah.
So for me, retention is very important, and we can talk about that at the next study that I'm a part of. But one of the things we have in place, I actually stole this idea from Harold Comer. He used to preach a lot about visitor flow and kind of creating an atmosphere at the congregation that you're worshiping at to connect visitors. And he used to preach connecting a visitor to 6 people. Like, you have one opportunity to connect them to 6 individuals, and if you can connect them to 6 individuals, the retention rate is almost 100%. And so the way we've tried to implement that is when someone is baptized. So like Leilani and Sebastian, they're this young couple that was recently baptized. Yesterday, they went through stage 2 of what we call the new converts study. So when someone is baptized, they study with one family unit. So it could be a single person, it could be family, like it doesn't really matter. We call them a family unit, but they study how God helps you with that family. And then when they finish that, they go to another family unit and they study what it means to be a disciple. And now that they finished that yesterday, they're going to go to a third family unit where they're going to study what is sin, and then they'll go to the 4th family and the 5th family unit. That way, they are not only connected to Chelsea and myself, but they're connected to now 5 other family units at university, and they have other people looking out for them and making sure that like they've developed those relationships.
The preacher what's going on about a preacher at Ninth Boulevard used to do. Once he was real good at since then he's fallen away. But anyway, he was good at converting them. But then he would, after they were converted, set them up with different families,
Yeah.
different studies like that. And I think it's important.
Yeah.
Yeah, Titus Edwards, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was on fire. He got a lot of conversions, retained a lot. Well, this was solid gold. I learned a lot, especially what, and these aren't theoretical, pie in the sky things. These are things that are Chelsea and JP are doing and have gotten through the Father results, and the things they're outlining, positive success stories, and what you guys are sharing is that you're all already getting out there and you're doing the work, and that's encouraging. So thank you guys for that.